president, I assume you were at the forefront with the leadership of the organization and the decision-making of Australia is good for us. Can you maybe walk us through a few of those decisions?
Well, the biggest thing is I think it's good for the game. It's good for the NHL to go there. We need to expand. I mean, talking to some people from Australia today, the NFL's been there. You know, they say the Rams are really relevant there, and then the NBA's been there, and the NHL's never been there. So, as an organization, you know, we feel if we have an opportunity to go, and it's good for our brand and good for things like that. But there's a lot of things that we're trying to do. We're always trying to grow the game. And we do it a lot in Southern California. We've worked really hard over the last 20 years. And there's something that, you know, if we have a chance to go. And the league and the union works really hard on making sure those trips are well done. I mean, we're going 5 days earlier than everyone. You know, we're going to come back and we're only going to miss really a couple days of training camp. And plus, I do have this thing as a player that I do know in 20 years from now when you retire, you say, hey, I got to go in Australia to play a hockey game. It's pretty cool. And when it comes down to fatigue, I'm a little bit different than most people because it's only 82 days that you got to go to bed and make sure you're rested. And then if you're lucky, you play another 25, 26 games. And up 365 days, you just got to make sure you're rested for those days, and that's it. So, no, but I do think it's a great thing for our game.
I find it interesting that you guys went to China, you went through all
Yep.
that, and you still chose to do this, right? So
Now, have you ever watched our record when we came back from China?
No, well, that's a good point, actually.
We're not going to open to say, but you never know.
Did you learn lessons from that? Are there things that
There was not much to change. It was really well done. We got there. Our guys got to visit a few things. You know, I think it's important to make sure to communicate to people. There's 3 periods in hockey because I remember the first game in Shanghai, people were leaving after the second period. But, you know, I think as far as the trip was going there, probably the hardest thing was to do 2 different cities. But the trip itself, guys came back, they had time to come back, and it actually made our team much closer. So we're kind of going, I'm not sure if Todd addressed that because I missed it, but the fact that in our game now, even though we'll go sometime on a 10-day or 12-day road trip, you still travel those games every 2 days. Now this is the first time that you could go and for 5 days a team is together. It doesn't happen. We used to have camp in Lake Arrowhead, you know, back in the day for 3-4 days. We used to be in Victoria for 3, 4, 5 days. That doesn't happen much in our game anymore. So that really gives our team a chance to bond together.
Luc, do you see parallels, any parallels at all with China and this trip with Australia, just in terms of moving the game into new territories, or is this going to be totally different, separate experience?
I don't know. I'll be able to tell you after. I mean, I think us, the LA Kings, we stayed after in China. We had alumni doing clinics in the rink. We had a Junior Kings program and so forth. It kind of fell through after the Olympics, but we tried. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to stay after, but I think we probably have a better opportunity, maybe because of language and so forth. It's just, you know, it's English, and to make sure like we're able to do some more work in the future.
How important is building your brand even there?
It's a good thing. It all comes with winning, but you know our team has success in the next few years, and by going there, it will help us. People, you know, will be even more relevant. I was surprised. I didn't know that the NFL's. I mean, I knew they were broadcasting game. I thought they were live. They're not live, and so forth. So now I really believe they'll probably give a chance to the NHL to have more games there in the future, and they don't necessarily seem to have to be live.
Not only are you doing the trip, but you're doing this behind the glass,
Yeah.
all access. How hard was it to convince the coach to let the cameras in the lot?
You don't ask him. No, it actually was pretty easy. I kind of liked it. We saw a couple of the shows that have been done behind the glass that were really well done. I think every one of the leagues worked with us on to kind of trying to make sense out of it. I mean, he's here, John's in the back. He's really helped us on kind of writing down what's important to us as an organization. And I think it's training camp. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of intensity, especially for the young kids to, guys that are trying to make their mark. But at the same time, it's important. Like we're all watching, whether it's F1 show, Hard Knocks, and so forth. And it is interesting when you get to see behind what's going on behind the walls, and it's good for sports. I think as a fan, you like that, and if you have a chance to kind of trade that with people and they get to see a little bit what goes on. But those are all part of the game. We all sign up. We all love to play the game, but it's the same thing with signing autograph. If you ask a player, would you sign 1 million autograph before he plays in the NHL to play in the NHL, he'll say yes. Would you do behind the glass show every single day if you get to play in the NHL? He'd say yes. So you can't forget that when you're a player, and it's hard when you have a camera in your face every day, and it's not easy. But that being said, it's part of it. That's why these guys do real well. They make a good living. It's entertainment at the end of the day.
Can you tell us a bit about how the TV deal came together, and is it a one-year deal or is it a longer term? A little unclear.
It's a 3-year deal.
Okay.
The folks at Bally and Diamond have been really good. David Pleschlak, Steve Simpson, into working with us and seeing where they're going to be in a year. But it is a 3-year deal, and we're happy. I think even for our fans, it's a good thing. There's continuity. They know exactly where the Kings are going to be playing, and they're working with us into some that we can add different content around our team. And I think that's going to help us. We're always trying to do more, for inside the community and so forth. So, but from that standpoint, yeah, it's a 3-year deal, but we'll be able to sit down with them at the end of the year and see where everybody's at.
And on the hockey ops side, there's been a lot of kind of speculation reports that with the cap situation, you might be carrying a player or two light on the roster, or do you anticipate opening the year with 23 on the roster?
I'm not sure we're going to be able to operate with 23 to start the season. I mean, it's no secret if you just go look online and you do the math. So we might be a man or two short to start, and we're prepared for it. And we do know if there's an injury, something could happen for a game and so forth. And but like I think we all knew, we had an opportunity to get a great player in Pierre-Luc Dubois, and we went for it.
Obviously, I'm sorry to follow up briefly. Obviously, with Ontario being close, home game's not a huge issue, but a lot of travel.
Yep.
West, how are you guys going to manage those longer road trips?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we're like every team, you get prepared in the summer. There's always some unknown and so forth, and we're going to have to adjust with it. But we've been kind of looking at it and preparing as an organization and we know there might be a couple games that a few things happen that are out of the ordinary.
Luc, with your experience in hockey, whether it was player management, I'm curious for your thoughts on mentorship and the value of, like, say, a Kopitar helping out with a young forward, Doughty helping out with a young defenseman, and sort of the trickle-down effect of that in the organization.
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate. Even when we started to rebuild, and Blakey would talk about having Quickie and Brownie and, Kopi, and even at the beginning, Alec Martinez, and now to get Trevor Lewis back. These guys, sometimes if you remember in 2008 or 9, Dean Lombardi would talk about, we got to go get guys that are character. And he had to go get Matt Green, Jared Stoll. Like, those guys are here for us. They've been here, like Kopi and Drew, and they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to play in Los Angeles. The LA Kings logo means something to them, and I think we're very fortunate that we didn't have to go get that type of player just to be part of the rebuild, and they happen to still be our best player.
Keep Gavrikov, you trade for Dubois. People are saying the team is built to win. So what's your expectations for this team?
I mean, Todd talk about you got to climb Mount Everest, and we're near the end. And sometime when you go to Mount Everest, if you run out of oxygen, you come back down, you go back up. So we're near there. I mean, the expectations are there. We're in that bucket of like 8 to 10 teams that we all have a chance at winning a championship. We're not trying to make the playoffs. I think the goal is not trying to win a round. We're trying to win a Stanley Cup, and that's the goal. We're going to do everything possible to get to that goal. We're gonna make, you know, life as best possible for our players, our entire organization, but there's no secret about it. That's the goal. And that's what this team is built upon.